Please like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications, please. It really does make a difference. Thank you. Silent invasion. New Jersey's nightmare in the sky. What if the drones watching you weren't from this world? In December 2024, New Jersey residents began reporting strange lights in the sky. The following story is based on those events. As sightings increased, so did the questions. Why were they flying in perfect grids? How could they disappear without a trace? And most importantly, who or what was controlling them? I'm a police officer in Bergen County, New Jersey. I never believed in aliens or conspiracy theories. But on a cold December night, in 2024, everything changed. My daughter Sarah claimed she talked to the sky robots. Laughed it off, till I saw it myself. Daddy, the drones talk to me. My 8-year-old daughter's words echoed in my mind as I started my evening patrol. I'd brushed off her claim, chalking it up to an overactive imagination. Little did I know how those words would haunt me in the coming days. It was a crisp December night in Bergen County, New Jersey. The streets were quiet, a thin layer of frost coating the sidewalks. As a veteran police officer, I was used to the rhythm of night patrols, usually a mix of minor disturbances and the occasional drunk driver. But tonight would be different. The first call came in around 10:30 p.m. A woman, her voice shaky, reported strange lights hovering above her backyard. I sighed, assuming it was just another case of mistaken identity. Probably a plane or a satellite. I assured her I'd check it out, more to ease her mind than out of any real concern. As I pulled up to her house, I noticed a group of neighbors gathered on the street, all pointing skyward. Following their gaze, I saw nothing. Just the night sky, with stars twinkling faintly in the background. The woman insisted the lights had been there moments ago, describing them as silent and moving in perfect lines. I took notes, but internally, was skeptical. People see what they want to see, especially when they're scared. But then the calls started flooding in. Within an hour, dispatch had logged over 20 reports of unidentified lights across 3 counties. Each description was eerily similar. Silent objects flying in precise formations, hovering at impossible angles, then vanishing in the blink of an eye. I parked on a hill overlooking the Hackensack River, scanning the horizon. That's when I saw it. At first, I thought it was a reflection on my windshield. 3 faint reddish dots arranged in a perfect triangle. But as I stepped out of the car, I realized they were in the sky, maybe 500 feet up. They moved with a fluid grace I'd never seen before, unlike any aircraft I knew. Suddenly, the triangle of lights split apart. 2 points accelerated away at speeds that should have created a sonic boom. But there was only silence. The third light dropped straight down, stopping on a dime just above the tree line. It hovered there for a moment as if observing me, before zipping away to join the others. My hand shook as I keyed the radio. "Dispatch, this is Unit 47. I've got a visual on. I'm not sure what." In that moment, everything I thought I knew about the world shifted. These weren't drones. At least not any we had the technology to build. And as much as I wanted to deny it, a small voice in the back of my mind whispered, maybe my daughter wasn't imagining things after all. As the weeks passed, the sightings only grew more frequent. What started as an oddity became a nightly occurrence, leaving us all to wonder, what exactly are we dealing with, and why are they here? I thought I'd seen it all during that night on patrol, but I was wrong. A disturbing pattern emerged as the drone sightings spread across New Jersey like wildfire. These objects weren't just observing us. They seemed to be studying our most sensitive locations. And the government's reaction? That's where things get genuinely unsettling. 2 weeks after my encounter by the Hackensack River, I found myself in a windowless room at the FBI field office in Newark. The air was tense as I joined a small group of local law enforcement and military personnel. A stern-faced federal agent stood at the front, his voice low and serious as he began the classified briefing. "What we're dealing with here is precedented," he said, pulling up a map of New Jersey dotted with red markers. Each point represented a confirmed sighting, spreading out from Bergen County in an ever-widening circle. But the cluster of markers around 2 specific locations made my stomach drop. Picatinny Arsenal, and McGuire Air Force Base. The agent's words confirmed my growing fears. In the past month alone, Picatinny Arsenal has reported 11 confirmed sightings of unauthorized drones in its airspace. Murmurs rippled through the room. As a weapons development center, Picatinny was one of the most sensitive military installations in the state. The implications were chilling. As the briefing continued, it became clear that no one, not local law enforcement, not the military, not even the federal government, had a clear explanation for what was happening. Theories ranged from foreign surveillance to advanced corporate technology testing, but each explanation fell apart under scrutiny. The capabilities of these drones defied conventional understanding. They moved at speeds that should have created sonic booms. Yet witnesses reported complete silence. They performed maneuvers that would tear apart any known aircraft, and most disturbingly, they seemed to vanish into thin air, evading all attempts at tracking or interception. "We're dealing with technology that's beyond our current capabilities," admitted a visibly frustrated Air Force colonel. "These objects can outmaneuver our best pilots and disappear from our most advanced radar systems." As the briefing wrapped up, the federal agent left us with a sobering thought. The precision of these flight patterns, the focus on military installations, it suggests a level of intelligence and purpose that we can't ignore. We're not ruling out any possibilities at this point. As I walked out of that room, my mind was reeling. The implication was clear. Even if no one wanted to say it out loud, we might be dealing with something beyond human origin. The thought sent a chill down my spine, bringing me back to my daughter's words about the drones. Talking to her. As I drove home that night, the weight of what I'd learned pressed down on me. How could I protect my family from something I couldn't even understand? And if these truly were visitors from beyond our world, what did they want? The night sky, once a source of wonder, now felt ominous and alien. I couldn't shake the feeling that we were standing on the brink of something that would change everything, and there was no going back. The unsettling revelations from the FBI briefing faded into the background as I pulled into my driveway. A chill ran down my spine when I saw my daughter Sarah standing motionless in the front yard, staring up at the night sky. "Dad," she whispered without turning. "They're talking to me again, and I'm talking back." She stared up into the sky, in some kind of hypnotic state. I rushed to Sarah's side, my heart pounding. She described symbols and messages she claimed the drones were sharing. Part of me wanted to dismiss this as imagination, but after everything I'd seen, I couldn't shake the feeling that her words might be true. In the weeks that followed, my focus on the drone investigation consumed me. I spent long nights poring over witness statements, studying grainy video footage, and researching historical UFO encounters. The similarities were striking. The precision movements, the ability to evade detection, and the inexplicable communication some witnesses reported. But as my obsession grew, so did the strain on my family. My wife, Lisa, grew increasingly frustrated with my late nights and distracted demeanor. "You're here, but you're not really here," she'd say, her voice tinged with worry and resentment. Sarah's nightmares became more frequent, filled with visions of strange symbols and whispered messages. Then, the odd occurrences began. They started small, electronics malfunctioning, strange noises in the night, but escalated quickly. One morning, we woke to find intricate geometric patterns pressed into our lawn like something heavy had landed there. Another night, all the clocks in our house stopped. At exactly 3:33 a.m., the final straw came when Sarah's teacher called, concerned about the strange symbols she'd been drawing obsessively in class. A chill ran through me as I looked at my daughter's sketches. They matched perfectly with patterns I'd uncovered in my research. Patterns reported in UFO encounters dating back decades. They were found in crop circle formations in the 1990s and nearby cattle mutilations. I knew then that I couldn't keep silent any longer. The truth needed to come out, regardless of the consequences. I contacted a trusted journalist friend, agreeing to go on record with everything I knew. As I prepared for the interview, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was crossing a point of no return. Days before the interview, I sat my family down. "I need to do this," I explained, watching their eyes mixed with fear and understanding. "People need to know what's happening." I remember Lisa squeezing my hand, her voice steady despite the worry in her eyes. Whatever happens, we're in this together. Looking at my family, I realized the actual weight of my decision. Going public wouldn't just affect me, it would forever change our lives. But as I thought about the drones, Sarah's drawings, and all the unexplained phenomena spreading across New Jersey, I knew there was no other choice. The implications of what I was about to reveal were staggering. How would humanity react if these truly were visitors from beyond our world? What would it mean for our understanding of our place in the universe? How would this affect people's faith? And is it alien or interdimensional, as more experienced UFO researchers suspected? Just as I thought I'd uncovered the full scope of this phenomenon, a chilling realization struck me. What if the drones weren't the invasion itself, but merely the harbingers of something far more profound? The pieces were about to fall into place, and the truth promised to be more earth-shattering than I could have imagined. Before meeting with the reporter, I was slipped a message to meet with some interested parties from the military. My hands trembled as I parked my car in the deserted lot of an old industrial complex. This wasn't just another clandestine meeting, but a potential turning point in my research. As I approached the abandoned warehouse, a figure emerged from the shadows. I recognized him immediately. A high-ranking official from the Department of Defense who shouldn't be anywhere near New Jersey, let alone meeting with a local cop in secret. "Officer Russo," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "What I'm about to tell you goes beyond top secret. If word gets out that we've spoken, we'll both disappear." Inside the warehouse, he laid out a series of documents and photos. "These objects you've been seeing, they're not drones. At least not in any sense we understand. We've been tracking similar phenomena months before of the New Jersey coastline. But nothing like this activity. They've been spotted at military bases turning off our computer systems and rebooting them at will. They have complete control. We can't do a thing to block them." He described technologies that defied our understanding of physics. Craft capable of instant acceleration without inertial effects. 90-degree turns at high speeds, and seamlessly transitioning between air, water, and space. "We call it transmedium travel," he explained. "It's so far beyond our capabilities that we can't even begin replicating it." As he spoke, the implications began to sink in. These weren't human creations, and they weren't even from Earth or maybe our universe. "Why now?" I asked, my mouth dry. "Why are they revealing themselves like this now?" The official's face grew grim. "We don't know, but the patterns suggest they're studying us, almost like anthropologists. They focus on military installations. You know of the grid-like search patterns? They're gathering data. The question is, for what purpose?" He paused, letting the weight of his words settle. "These extraterrestrial intelligences or interdimensional beings could take over at any time, Russo. It undermines our understanding of science, our place in the universe. Hell, it could trigger a crisis of faith for millions. Maybe that's what this is all about. I don't know." My mind raced, thinking of Sarah, of her strange drawings and claims of communication. What if they've already reached out to us in the past? What if it's not aliens, but something more sinister? What if the gods of old have returned? The official's eyes widened and his lips showed a sly grin. "Glad you're asking those same questions. If that's true, it's even more crucial that we handle this carefully." As our meeting drew to a close, he fixed me with an intense stare. "You have a choice to make, Officer Russo. You can go to that reporter friend, go public with what you know, just keep my details private. Or you can work with us behind the scenes, discovering their true nature. You're right. It goes deeper than this." I nodded. I left the warehouse with my head spinning, the weight of this knowledge pressing down on me. The truth was more incredible and terrifying than I could have imagined. Now, I had to decide to be a part of this team or not. As I stand under the vast New Jersey sky, I marvel at how much has changed. Just months ago, I was a skeptic, dismissing my daughter's wild stories about talking drones. Now, I find myself at the center of a mystery that challenges everything we thought we knew about our place in the universe. The evidence is overwhelming. 90-degree turns at Mach 9, merging in and out of the sea at supersonic speed, dropping down from miles above within seconds, and the focus on our most sensitive nuclear locations all point to something threatening and beyond our understanding. But as I've learned, the truth isn't always easy to accept, even when it's staring you in the face. I think about all the people out there, going about their lives, unaware of what's happening above them. How would they react if they knew? Could they handle the paradigm shift that comes with accepting we're already compromised militarily? A chill runs down my spine as I look up at the stars. The night sky will never look the same to me again. I don't feel safe. I can't help but wonder, what comes next? And more importantly, what is the real agenda behind all of this? I decided to work behind the scenes with the colonel first. The reporter can wait.